Hello bookworms, it's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with an Assumptions About Me video. In the month of October, I reached 5,000 subscribers on my channel, which is so exciting. I actually reached 5,000 subscribers like the day before my 5-year booktube anniversary, which was even cooler. To celebrate reaching 5,000 subscribers, I thought I would do a video to let you guys know a little bit more about me. And I decided to do an assumptions video, which is kind of like a Q&A. You just phrase the questions a little bit differently. Assumption videos were like really popular a couple of years ago. I actually did one back then for hitting a different subscriber milestone, which I will link for you guys in case you're interested in checking that one out. But I really wanted to do another one, and I got a lot of fun assumptions, so we're just gonna go through them, and I'm gonna try and answer them a little bit rapid fire style because I don't want this video to be too long. But I will try to get to as many of the assumptions as I can. First, I'm gonna start with the assumptions that I got on my community tab. Oh my god. Hey. Toby, I really need you to not do that. Okay, first assumption is that I prefer hot chocolate over coffee, and that is not true. I definitely prefer coffee over hot chocolate, but a caveat to this is that I don't like black coffee. It's not like real coffee. I like, like Starbucks coffee that has lots of cream and sugar in it. I'm sure for some people they won't even consider that really to be coffee, but I love that flavor of coffee. You would rather stay inside and read than go out and socialize. 100%. I would much rather stay in and read, and I have been known to take a book to parties. For example, a lot of times for like the New Year's party that I go to every year, it's a group of people that we've known for a really long time, but after a certain point, everyone's kind of like passing out and drunk and stuff, and that's when I pull out my book and I start reading. You love playing tabletop games and are really competitive. I enjoy playing tabletop games, but it's not something that I do a lot of. I want to get more into board games and stuff, but I definitely don't play them a lot. Actually, if you guys have any recommendations for two-person board games, leave them for me down in the comment section because I want to find more games that I can play with just my husband and I. We don't really have a lot of in-person friends that like to play board games, so it has to be something that two people can play. But I'm also not very competitive. You love to read while cabin camping, especially in a hammock. How did you know? Maybe you watched my recent camping vlog, because I do love reading when we go camping. And this year I spent a lot of time in my hammock. While you have a background in biology, you no longer work in something related to that. That is incorrect. I still work in a biology related field, so I work for a lab that does genetic testing because my degree has to do with genetics. You don't have a green thumb and can't keep your plants alive. How did you know this? Because I have been known to kill air plants, which are only supposed to need air to survive. It's not totally true. You still have to water them a little bit, just like spray water on them, but I definitely killed some, so I do not have a green thumb. You're an optimist who keeps pushing through no matter what happens. That's really nice of you to say. I would say that's mostly true. I do have my down days occasionally, but for the most part, I try to look at the bright side and remind myself that whatever I'm going through, it's just temporary and things will probably get better. Okay, those are all the ones from my community tab. Let me hop over to Twitter. One of the ones I got from Twitter was, I assume you've always been a reader even when you were a kid. This is definitely true. I learned to read when I was like in the first grade, maybe kindergarten, using Hooked on Phonics. Let me know down in the comment section if any of you guys learned to read using Hooked on Phonics. And all through elementary school and middle school, I read a ton. We actually had this program called the AR program. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but basically you read books and then you take quizzes on them to like prove that you read them and you earn AR points. And when I was in the 4th grade, this is like one of my greatest accomplishments. When I was in the 4th grade, I got, oh gosh, I don't remember exactly how many AR points, but I got the most AR points in the whole school. It was kindergarten through 5th grade, so even out of all the 5th graders, I got the most AR points, and I was so proud of that.
Did you mention that AR stood for accelerated reading?
No. No, but I can say that. I didn't remember what it stood for until you said it.
Yeah, they might have thought you were an assault rifle reading.
My husband wants me to make sure I tell you that the AR program I was referencing, the AR stands for Accelerated Reading and not something else. Toby, you're so loud. Okay, the other one that I got off of Twitter was, I assume that you don't speak Korean, but maybe you wish you did. And that is false. I do actually speak Korean. 나 한국말 할 수 있는데 조금밖에 못 말해요. 왜냐하면 집에서만 말했어요. 내 엄마하고 할머니하고 같이 한국말 배웠어. 내가 조그맣을 때부터. So basically I just said I can speak Korean but not very well because I only spoke it at home and my mom and my grandma are the ones who taught me Korean when I was growing up. I do wish my Korean was better. I understand Korean a lot better than I can speak it, and Korean, like a lot of Asian and even other languages, has like the kind of speaking that you do when you're around family and people that you're comfortable with versus the kind of like more formal speaking that you do to like strangers or in the workplace, or just like in public. And that's the kind of Korean that I am not very good at because that's just not what I grew up speaking, and I also can't really read and write. I can read, but it takes me a really long time and I have to like sound out the words, and a lot of times I don't understand what I'm reading because written Korean is a lot more like the formal Korean, and like I said, I'm not very good with that stuff. When I watch Korean movies and stuff, I can usually pick up on what they're saying, but sometimes they speak faster or they use like the more formal language that I'm just not as familiar with, so I still use subtitles when I watch Korean TV show and movies. Okay, moving on to the questions I got from Instagram. My sister said, I assume you're the best sister anyone could have. Well, Mariah, you're the only one who can make that assumption, so I'm gonna assume that you're right. Not to toot my own horn. You would prefer the country life to the city life. 100%. I do think that I'm most comfortable in the suburban life. Like, I don't mind going to the city sometimes, but I do enjoy being out in the country. But sometimes I wonder if I would really want to live there, like to not be close to fast food and restaurants concerns me because I definitely eat a lot of that. But I do enjoy the country, and if I had to pick between the country and living in the city, I would definitely pick living in the country. You like dogs more than cats. That is true. I'm not a huge cat person, but I also just haven't been around a lot of cats. My mom has always been allergic to cats when I was growing up, and my husband's allergic to cats, so I don't foresee myself ever having cats. I do think kittens are so cute though. I love kittens. I mean, they're baby animals and all baby animals are adorable, right? But as far as like adult cats versus dogs, 1000% dogs. You read more books than you watch movies in a year. That is also true. We do watch movies occasionally, but at least since I started, BookTube, I read over 52 books a year, and I definitely don't watch that many movies. You don't like crowded places like theme parks. Okay, this one's hard to answer because it's true that I don't like crowded places, but I'm kind of a roller coaster fanatic. I don't know what's the right word to use. I'm not a fanatic, but I love roller coasters. So because of that, I have been known to go to theme parks, but I always do try to go when they're not crowded. For example, when I used to live in California, in Southern California, we had season passes to Magic Mountain Six Flags, which is like the best roller coaster place I've ever been to. And I would take a weekday off of work, like a Wednesday, to drive up there because it was like an hour-and-a-half drive either way. But I would take a day off of work just to go there because I wanted to ride all the rides, but I didn't want to be there when it was super crowded. So yes and no. I don't like crowded places because I don't like to be around a lot of people, and I hate waiting in lines. I feel like it's just such a waste of time. So that's true, but I do like theme parks as long as they have good roller coasters. And if you live close to Six Flags Magic Mountain and you like roller coasters, you have to go there because they have the best roller coasters out of any Six Flags that I've been to and a lot of other theme parks that I've been to. Someone said, "You are sweet and smart." Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. And another one is you're smart, like really, really smart. Thank you. I mean, I have a master's degree and it wasn't easy to get. It was challenging, but there's a lot of things that I'm not smart about. Like I'm book smart, but I am not street smart, which is really funny. Like I think my husband and I go together really well because he's got lots of street smarts and I don't have any, and I've got lots of book smarts, and not that he doesn't, but we fit each other well. Okay, this one's interesting. You would like to write a novel one day. I don't know the answer to this, honestly. I have never been like a writer who loves to write stories. My problem is I don't have story ideas, but I like the idea of writing a book one day. And for those of you who are newer to my channel, I did do NaNoWriMo in 2018. It was a bit of a disaster because it was very stressful and I feel like it was a little forced as far as like the storytelling part of it, but I did win, which means I wrote the 50,000 words in the month. I actually have a series of vlogs. There's a playlist, I'll link it down below if you're at all interested, but you can see how stressed out I got during that month while I was doing NaNoWriMo. So I do like the idea of maybe one day writing a book, but I kind of see that as something maybe I do when I like retire and have more time on my hands, because I don't have a ton of story ideas. What I do like is, and this is what I like about making videos too, is I really like the editing process. I like taking my raw footage and cutting it up and taking the best parts and making it into a product that is like way better than the raw footage. And I like the idea of doing that with books as well, like writing a story. But my problem is I don't have the ideas to write. Like I think if I had a rough draft already done, that I could work on it and like, I don't know, like chisel away at it and make it better and better into something that I really liked, but I just don't have the ideas really to make it in the first place. So it is something that I would like to do one day. I don't see it happening anytime soon, and I'm not like super passionate about it or anything. Okay, friends and family often come to you for advice on various issues. I would say this is kind of true. So my degree that I mentioned is in genetic counseling. So I do have like a bit of a counseling background. I don't use it in my day job anymore, but because of that, I do think I am really good at listening. And that's really the biggest thing when people want to talk to you about something. It's just to have an open ear and to listen to what they're saying and like validate their feelings and such. And I think that a lot of times I try to give like a third party perspective and take my emotions out of it. That way I can try to give them some good advice. So I think that one's kind of true. You want to get a bookish tattoo? Yes and no. So for my 30th birthday, which I have a vlog of this, I randomly decided I want to get a tattoo, and I thought about getting a bookish tattoo at that point, and I ended up just getting a simple heart instead. So I'm open to the idea of getting a bookish tattoo, but I'm also like not dying to get a tattoo. The one that I got on my 30th birthday was actually my second tattoo. My first one is on my foot, and it's quite large. And everyone says, like, once you get one, they're addictive and you're gonna want them all the time. And that was not true for me because my pain tolerance is low and my foot tattoo hurt a lot and it took a long time because it's very big and it kind of scarred me, and I did not get a tattoo for years. And then for my 30th birthday, I wanted to get one just to like try and see what the pain was like, and it wasn't that bad. Like I definitely tolerated it a lot better. That one's on my wrist, or actually it's on this wrist here. I just got, can you see it? It's like on the inside of my wrist. So it's really small, and so the pain wasn't that bad, but I don't know, I'm not dying to get a tattoo like I was when I got my first one. But if I was to get another tattoo, it would probably be bookish. Okay, you work in an office setting. Yes and no. I used to when I went, so I work remotely. Even before the pandemic, I was working remotely. So my office is actually located in California where I used to live. So I had moved there so I could be an on-site employee and I was there for 4 years, and then I wanted to move back home to Texas where my husband and I are from to be closer to our families, and so I've been working remotely for the same company since like, I don't know, 2017 or something. So I did go into the office when I was in California, but I just work from a home office now. You're very quiet in a group of people. This depends. Most of the time, yes. It depends on how comfortable I am in a group of people. If it's people that I'm really comfortable with, I'm a chatterbox and I will talk about all kinds of things, but I do have some social anxieties, so sometimes that leads me to be very shy and quiet, and I am a bit of a people watcher. I like to just like watch other people have conversations, so I can be quiet. I'd say in most circumstances I am quiet in a group of people, but if it's a group of like my really close friends, then I can talk people's ears off. Okay, we still have a few more, but we're almost done. You have more than once drooled on your Kindle. That is not true. I mean, maybe like once or twice, but I don't remember doing that, and honestly, I'm often reading with my Kindle above me or like beside me if I'm like laying down, and you can't drool on your Kindle unless you're like sitting like this, right? So that has not happened. I fall asleep while reading my Kindle, but I don't drool on it. But I didn't drool on it.
No, that's why, because you fall asleep.
Yeah, my husband's demonstrating. He says that I fall asleep. He's walked in on me like while I had been reading and I'd fallen asleep like this, and then he tries to take it away from me and I'm like holding on to it. It's pretty funny. You love all your puppies, but you secretly love Toby more. This is a good one. I do love all my puppies, but I would say I secretly love Chloe more because Toby is a freaking rascal and he's so high energy and he drives me insane. My dog Chloe, come here, Chloe. Can you bring me Chloe? Toby. So this is Chloe. She needs a haircut. She's a little bit raggedy right now. This is Chloe, and she is my oldest dog. She's like 8 or 9, but she's super calm and cuddly, and she loves me the best, and she's my favorite, but don't tell the others. You are the mom of the friend group. Maybe. I do tend to be like really responsible, and I'm kind of like type A. I like to be super organized and just like on top of things. So in that sense, like I think yes. I don't know. Most of my friends don't need a mom. So I don't know how true this one is. Do you think I'm the mom of my friend group?
I would say, like, if we were going out with our group of friends, not particularly
Right.
anyone specific, but I think we would both be the moms. Like, I would be the mom of the guys, you would be the mom of the
Yeah.
guys. If we were going to do something that was illegal, like go from the top deck to the lower deck at a football game or a baseball game or something.
Or if we're going out with a group of people and like people are drinking and partying, I'm definitely kind of the mom in that situation. I want to make sure everybody is like okay or whatever.
You don't feed anybody.
Oh.
Like, a lot of times the mom in the group like takes care of people in that sense, but like I guess you would order Uber Eats if they needed something.
My husband wants to clarify that I'm not the mom that feeds people because I can't cook. He does all the cooking in our house. I like to joke that I can cook toast and cereal, so I wouldn't be that kind of mom. But as far as like trying to make sure everybody's okay and taken care of in other ways, yes. Okay, last one. You never loudly disagree with anyone, but will internally die with every non-truth spoken. This is very true. I'm very non-confrontational, and I often just like nod and smile and kind of like go along with what people are saying, but kind of die inside if I don't agree and can't speak up. That kind of goes along with me being quiet in a group of people too. I don't like to cause any like ripples or ruffle anyone's feathers or anything like that. I'm definitely non-confrontational and will just keep my mouth shut instead of like standing up for myself. A little bit different when it comes to standing up for my friends. I think I can be a little more ballsy in that area, but if it's me or just like, I don't know, about politics and stuff, I usually just stay quiet. Alright guys, that was a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody who submitted assumptions, and hopefully I'll be doing another sort of Q&A or maybe another assumptions about me style one in the future. Let me know down in the comment section what you were most surprised about that you found out about me in this video. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content. That sounds weird because this wasn't bookish content, but that's what I always say at the end of my videos. That's all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye. I don't know why I'm so nervous about this. 나 한국말 할 수 있는데. Oh my god. That was a good idea, babe. Thanks. I just had to really think about it, think about what I wanted to say. And I'm also scared someone's gonna tell me my Korean's bad, but I basically explained why it was bad already, so. Bye.